Welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Champions, brought to you by Mortgage Now. I'm Steve Strum over here, and over there is Melissa Brunz.
Good morning.
How you doing, young lady?
Doing wonderful. How are you this morning, Steve?
I'm doing okay. I know we were talking a little bit offset, we'll get to you in a second, about volatility.
Yes.
In another world, right? Steve Strum stock market, a little bit of volatility going on right there. Geopolitical stuff, a little bit of volatility going on right there. Real estate, which is what we're talking about today, a little bit of volatility going on there. Who do we have here today to help us understand about the value of real estate as an investment tool?
Today we have Tina Arant. She's here to tell us a little bit more about her business and what she does here in the Northeast Florida area and how she can help buyers and sellers here with their homes, even in this volatility. So,
welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here.
So tell us a little bit about your perspective, right? We were talking offline about that volatility stuff, right? And you had some very interesting perspectives, given that you have had a career in real estate. I think you were born selling real estate, so 20 plus years, right?
It's been a while.
Some people on this show may not remember 2008 like we remember 08. So talk to us a little bit about your perspective.
Oh, I remember it very well. I started in 2004, and I helped many first-time home buyers. I also helped other people who were relocating to the area. Many of them were looking forward to their move to Florida, however, were hesitant because of the home prices, and they just didn't see how those prices could continue the way that they were. However, the ones who did go ahead and invest in their properties with me that held on to those properties found that after the bubble, they did walk away with equity in their homes, and they were able to buy their next home. And many of them called me to use me for that purchase as well. So, you know, it's always a great time to buy real estate if you plan on holding on to your house for more than a year or two, and regardless of what the interest rates are. I remember my first house, I paid 9% interest, and I was jumping for joy when it went down to 7%, and I had the opportunity to refinance. So that dates me a little bit, but my experience also is able to help people purchase and not be afraid to purchase.
I love that. Yeah, we tell people all the time, you know, it's not necessarily the right time to buy. Is it at the right time for you? Right? Is
Absolutely.
Your situation the right time? And I was right there with you. My first interest rate was 7 1/8, and my mother said that is the most amazing interest rate because they bought their house. The first house they ever bought was in the late 70s, and I think they paid 19%.
Double
so
digits.
crazy.
Yes,
so the market's always going to be volatile, right? That's the other thing that we haven't talked about is that, yeah, in any given moment we can have that conversation. But if the market is always volatile, then you can't really look at that as a determining factor of whether or not you should buy. So like we've said, it needs to be the right time for you in order for you to say, yeah, I'm going to be in this place for a few years. Yeah, I've got the money to put down on this home, and then yes, I'll have that equity to take with me to the next place that I go to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
So one of the things that you guys were talking about, and I've heard this from you before, is the marry the house, date the rate.
Yes.
And you had mentioned that you had gotten a great deal at 7 and change, and that 19 double-digit interest rates were not uncommon. A lot of people that are watching this, they may be looking for their first home purchase, or maybe going from that starter home to the big house, right, type of a thing. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys see. Is 2.5% mortgages normal, or is it really that 5 or 6 that we're really talking about? Like, walk us through that, because people watching are going, oh, I'm just going to wait for it to go back to 3.
I personally, and I'll answer first, at least on the mortgage side. I don't see the rates going back down that low. I think that was an anomaly looking back historically at our interest rates. That's never been that low before. We had a very nice long run of it. So I think that created a expectation within buyers that they should see those types of rates. I think that even 5s and 6s and 7s and 8s are still fantastic interest rates in strong economies. Obviously we don't want to see ourselves back, I think in the mid 90s, we were in the 13, 14, 15% range, right? And then like we stated in the late 70s, they were in the high teens. And people will argue, purchase prices were less, but people were also making a lot less money. Minimum wage was a lot less. So, it has to be the right time for you.
And then that
What's your thought?
becomes that double-edged sword, right? Because the
Yes.
interest rates go down, the price of the house goes up.
Right.
So what are you seeing with trends in the real estate market over the next 12 to 24 months with regards to the pricing? Good time to get in? Bad time to get in? Like, what's your opinion and what are your thoughts as you're educating your clients and customers on what's the best action to take?
Sure, absolutely. The prices right now are kind of balanced in the market that I work, and buyers are starting to come off the fence and purchase because they do see the little nudge down in the interest rates. But at the same time, your sellers are still expecting a certain level to walk away with, and it's creating that balance. And if you're looking for a certain payment, just think about how much you might be spending on rent right now. Your mortgage payment's probably going to be about the same amount of money or a little bit less, and you're investing in yourself and your future by purchasing that property. And it might be a little scary. I've worked with many first-time home buyers who really are scared to make that leap, but in the end, they've benefited tremendously from going ahead and purchasing their own property versus paying somebody else's mortgage rate or mortgage payments. So I encourage you to get out and invest in yourself regardless of what the rates are right now, because you're really going to get the best prices right now. I don't see the prices dropping much more than they already have. And the interest rates, once you get that great rate that you can refinance to, absolutely date the rate.
Marry the house.
And marry the house.
You got it. Exactly.
Well, we got time for one more question, which is a curveball question.
All right. Tina, if you had chosen not to go into real estate, what would you be doing?
Well, it's actually something that's fairly new for me.
Okay.
But I actually did get my coaching certificate, and I am doing coaching. I do both life coaching as well as coaching new real estate agents.
Awesome.
And I love doing that mainly because I love to travel as well, and that's something that you can do remotely. So that would be my answer. I love to travel, but at the same time, I love being with people and helping people and coaching.
So still in that caregiver, helpful
yes.
position. I love that.
And the
Awesome.
psychological counseling for people in life and real estate, that could be an episode entirely of its own. So
Truly.
for now, what we'll do is we'll make sure to hang all of your links and stuff on our website, which is thedailynewsnetwork.com, so people can come check you out, do whatever. But really do appreciate you joining us today. Obviously, Frick can't exist without Frack, so she's over there and I'm over here. They separate us just so we don't get into a fight. But this is awesome, but we really can't do it without these guys, right? So,
Absolutely.
guys, if you like this episode, share this episode. Remember, always live with gratitude.
It is a passionate mortgage brokerage that's local here in Jacksonville, Florida. We offer your traditional mortgages, purchase, refinance, debt consolidation, your conventional FHA, VA, government. I want them to feel like we care, like truly empathetic. We understand. I want them to understand we're knowledgeable. We're here for them. They are not just a number.